We begin with the new chapter in grammar, active and passive voice. All eyes on the topic, and we'll take up this for today. Now, the chapter begins with 4 conversations from the speakers, and just by these 4 conversations, the topic active and passive voice would be very, very clear to each one of you. Now, let us take the speaker 1. Shashi played the guitar at the party. Now, here, the first speaker's conversation is in this Shashi is the subject. That means doer of the action. Then played is the verb, and the object of the verb played is guitar. Now, once a verb has an object, it is known as a transitive verb. So, now any transitive verb can be made into a passive voice. So, active voice has subject, verb, and object, whereas in a passive voice, just the opposite. The object becomes an act as a subject, then the verb remains in the center, and then the subject turns out to be at the object's place. So, if we change the first active conversation given here, Shashi played the guitar at the party. In this, if we make it into passive, it will be the guitar was played by Shashi, and then the remaining sentence remains the same at the party. Yeah. Now we take the second conversation, the second speaker. Now the second speaker says, I had to complete my report, so I couldn't attend. Now here, I is the subject, that is doer of the action. Then the direct object of the verb had to complete is my report. So I repeat again here, I is the subject, had to complete is the verb, and my report is the object. Now again, it is a transitive verb, so this can be changed. And if you see the remaining part of the sentence after that, can you see I couldn't attend? Now here, attend is also a verb, but then it is intransitive. That means intransitive verb does not need an object. So these intransitive verbs, they cannot be changed. So now we will change the active speaker's sentence into passive. So it would be active. First, let me read out the active. I had to complete my report. Now, if we change it into passive, it will be my report had to be completed by me. Okay. And then the remaining part of the sentence would remain the same. So I couldn't attend. Now, in this first sentence and the second sentence, if you look at the verb, in the first sentence, the verb was played. Now, this is in a simple past tense. So now, if you change, when you are changing it into passive voice, you will make sure that it remains in the simple past only. So, played has turned into was played. Okay, played in the first sentence in active form is in past tense, so it remains in the same tense when it is in passive. So it will change to was played. Then in the second sentence also, if you see that the word was had to complete, complete karna tha. Okay. That means it is past, and now you have to change it into the past only. So had to be completed. Yeah. Now in the third sentence, the speaker in the first part of the third conversation, the subject is my neighbors. That means that it is the doer of the action, so it is the subject. My neighbors is the subject, and there is no object of the verb left if you see the sentence. My neighbors left. The object is not for Dimapur. For Dimapur is not the object. It is giving you an extra information. So here, my neighbors left. Now here, if you see my neighbors is the subject, verb is left, and it doesn't need an object. So it is intransitive verb. That means it will not be changing. Clear? Whereas if you see the second part, I gave them a farewell gift. So I is the subject, gave is the verb, give them what? Farewell gift is the object. So now you will be changing this part of the sentence. So it will be a farewell gift. Now see, gave is a past tense. So again, in passive, it will be changed into a past tense, and it will be a farewell gift was given to them. Yeah, to them. By me is the subject which was earlier in the front has come at the back. And the first half of the sentence would remain the same. My neighbors left for Dimapur. So now I'll repeat the whole passive sentence. My neighbors left for Dimapur. This will not change. Okay. Whereas the second part of the sentence would change. I gave them a farewell gift. This is active right now. To change it into passive, it will be a farewell gift was given to them by me. Now, here we come with the fourth speaker, and the sentence is that was nice of you. Did they take all their stuff? Now, here in the fourth speaker's conversation, the subject they is the doer of the action, and the direct object of the verb take is stuff. So now, that was nice of you will remain unchanged. Come to the second part. Did they take all their stuff? So, was all their stuff taken by them? Now, here, take is in the present tense. So, when you are changing it into passive, you will make sure that it is in the present tense only. So, was all their stuff? The stuff was earlier the object. Now it has acted, it has been reversed. So, was all their stuff taken by them? So, this is it. Now we come on to this small little box here. Note, the voice of transitive verb can be changed. Sentences with intransitive verb cannot be changed into the passive voice. Now, as I told you, the transitive voice of a verb can be changed. If a verb is a transitive verb, then it will be changing from active to passive. But if it is an intransitive verb, that means it does not require an object, then the verb, then the voice of the verb cannot be changed to passive voice. Okay. So now the basic structure. Now what you will write is this. You will write the heading active, passive, And then you will write this and you will write this. Okay? You will be writing these two things in your pair copies. Now you can see that subject plus main verb plus object plus adjunct. Adjunct is any additional essential or inessential word or phrases used after a sentence would be placed at the back. Then now structure of a passive voice will be just the opposite. The object would come at the beginning, then be as per the tense, the third form of the main verb by the subject plus adjunct, whatever is the inessential or additional part of a sentence with a word or a phrase. Okay. Now we come on to the various tenses and how they change according to the voice. Now, in a simple present sentence, see the first one. In an active form, it is Cookie Corner sells cakes. Now, Cookies Corner is the subject, sells is the verb, and cakes is the object. Now, sells is the word which is in simple present tense. So, in a passive voice, it will be the object will come at the subject place. So, Cookies Corner sells cakes would be cakes are sold by Cookies Corner. So, can you see the simple present sentence in an active voice and a passive voice? Now, we come on to this present continuous sentence. Now, continuous means ing in it. So, in an active voice, the subject is cookies corner is selling cakes. Now in passive it will change cakes are being sold, are being sold by cookies corner. Then present perfect, it will be cookies corner has sold cakes. Now in a passive voice it will be cakes have been sold by cookies corner. Now see the simple past. Cookies Corner sold cakes. Now here sold is a past tense. So in a passive voice it would be cakes were sold by Cookies Corner. Then past continuous again ing. Cookies Corner was selling. Now can you see in past continuous it is now was selling. And in the present continuous it was is selling. So now was selling cakes. Now in passive it will be cakes were being sold by Cookies Corner. Then in past perfect, Cookies Corner had sold cakes. Then passive mein it will be cakes had been sold by Cookies Corner. Now you have to go through this again. Why? Because every tense, whether it is simple present, present continuous, present perfect, simple past, past continuous, past perfect, and for future, the first active voice sentence, you have to see the verb. And then, according to the verb, you'll know whether the sentence is in present, past, or future, and then which tense is used, whether it is simple present, whether it is present continuous, whether it is present perfect, and accordingly you will change the passive voice. Okay, like supposing in an active voice the sentence is Cookies Corner is selling cakes. So in a passive voice you cannot write cakes were being sold. Were will not be there, are being. Okay, because were will be the past tense of was. Okay, so is ka past tense is are. Okay, sorry, is ka present is are, not were. Okay, So coming to the next one, simple future. The active voice would be Cookies Corner will sell cakes. वो cakes बेचेंगे. Okay. So now in the passive voice, cakes will be sold by Cookies Corner. Now active voice for future continuous will be Cookies Corner will be selling cake. Now this has no passive voice. Okay. Once the verb is in the future continuous, or if the verb is in the future perfect continuous, then there is no active passive voice for those verbs, even if they are transitive. Okay. So this chart you need to read again and work accordingly. Clear? Now we come on to the next page, A exercise. Here, underline the verbs in the following sentences and state whether they are in active voice or in the passive voice. Okay, now we'll do the first one. Nagila Lawson cooked an excellent meal. Now, if you see Nagila Lawson is the subject, cooked is the verb, and the object of the verb cook is an excellent meal. Okay, so it is in active voice. Now, let me just tell you how it will be changing into passive. An excellent meal. Now, since the word is cooked in the past tense, so what will change? An excellent meal was cooked by Nagila Lawson. Though we are not asked to change the voices, we are just asked to pick out the verb and tell whether they are in active or passive voices. So I just told you just for the knowledge sake. Okay. So in the first sentence, cooked, underline cooked is the verb and it is in the active form. Number two, Pranab Mukherjee was elected president of India. Now this is in the passive voice. Okay. Then third one, under was elected is the verb. Then third one, we should not laugh at someone's mistake. Should not laugh is the verb and it is in the active voice. Next, number four, the thief has been caught by the police. Has been caught is the verb and it is in the passive voice. Number five, Nelson Mandela opposed the apartheid system in South Africa. Opposed is the verb and it is in the active voice. Number six, gravity was discovered by Isaac Newton. Was discovered is the verb and it is in the passive voice. Honey is made by bees. Is made is the verb and it is in the passive voice. The child did not break the jar. Did not break is the verb and it is in the active voice. I do not like being told what to do. Do not like is the verb and it is in the passive voice. Number 10. English is being taught to us by Mrs. Saha. Is being taught is the verb and it is in the passive voice. Now, out of these, you will do the fifth one and the 10th one. That's it. Before we move on, let us see this note. Number one, a verb in the future continuous tense or any of the perfect continuous tenses has no passive voice form. Now, as I told you, in the future continuous and future perfect continuous, there will not be a passive voice. Number two, the change in voice from active to passive can be done only for the verbs which are used transitively. Now, these are the 2 points which I told you also that if a verb is transitive, that means it's needing an object to complete. Only those verbs can be changed into passive. Otherwise, no. So these 2 points again you will write, and in your copies you'll do this before you do exercise A. Okay, so that means you will do the subject and the oh, sorry. That means you will do these two headings in your fair copies. Then you will come on to this note. Then you do exercise A 5 and 10. Then let's come on to the note here. Active voice sentences with no particular or definite subject can be transformed into the passive voice. In such passive voice sentence, by plus doer is dropped. For example, one should ignore rude people. Now, in this, one should ignore rude people will be changing like rude people should be ignored. Now, here, by us, one should ignore, one will not be mentioned. Okay, they built the road in 2008. The road was built in 2008. By them is ignored. That means the doer of the subject is dropped in both these sentences, if you see. Yeah. So at times we drop the subject, that means the doer of the action. Why? Because it is understood. It is taken that it is understood. Um, I'll tell you through one example in exercise B. Can you see the fifth sentence? Come to the fifth sentence. We'll go to all the other sentences later, but just to tell you what does this mean. Come to the fifth sentence. We have forgotten our war heroes. Now this is an active voice and we are changing it into passive. So it will be our war heroes have been forgotten. Now here if you see by us is this doer of the work, but we have very conveniently dropped it and still it is making full sense. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell you. You need not write this note which is given here. Now come to exercise B. Change the voice of the verb from active to passive in the following sentences. Number one, a greengrocer sells vegetables. Please write these sentences right now. So now changing it into passive, vegetables are sold by a greengrocer. Yeah. The next, Mother Teresa helped the poor. In passive, the poor was helped by Mother Teresa. And can you see in each sentence, I've underlined the verb which I am changing. In the first sentence, sells is changed, are sold. Are is making it a present tense. Okay. Then Mother Teresa helped. Helped will be was helped. Number three, boys like action heroes. Underline like, and we are going to change. Action heroes are liked by boys. Number four, thieves burgled the Nokia mobile store at Connaught Place. The passive voice would be the Nokia mobile store at Connaught Place was burgled by the thieves. By thieves, sorry. Number five, we have forgotten our war heroes. Answer, our war heroes have been forgotten by us. Now, by us is in brackets. In the exam, you can just write, our war heroes have been forgotten. And it is all in all complete. Okay. Number six, a mother loves her child. Answer, a child is loved by a mother. Number 7. Rabindranath Tagore wrote the Gitanjali. Answer. The Gitanjali was written by Rabindranath Tagore. Number 8. Aryabhatta invented the number 0. Answer. The number 0 was invented by Aryabhatta. And again, please keep seeing I have underlined in each sentence the verb before changing it. And invented has been changed into was invented. Earlier, number 7, wrote was changed by was written. Okay. Then number 9, the students asked the teacher a difficult question. Now, asked is the verb. Now, when I'm changing it in passive, it is now the answer is a difficult question was asked by the students from the teacher. Please put a tick mark on this ninth sentence. We'll be doing it. I repeat, a difficult question was asked by the students from the teacher. Number 10, the government is introducing several new schemes. Answer, several new schemes are being introduced by the government. Okay, put a tick mark on 10 and 5. So B exercise, you'll do 3 sentences, number 5, number 9, number 10. Okay, now the C exercise, though it doesn't usually come in the exam. Okay, because we don't usually give a huge amount of sentences to be put together. But just for your knowledge, I'm trying to show you this part. Okay, I'm clicking a photograph. This is the first sentence. I have changed it into a passive voice, and you are supposed to write this whole sentence. That means exercise C, you will practice just for your knowledge. Okay, and then exercise D, sorry, C, the sentence, a paragraph rather. You will be doing it in your copies. I hope I'm clear.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So basically, these are the two sentences which I have given you here. I will just quickly read out. Now, this it is the C exercise says rewrite the following passage in the passage in the passive voice. So I will not read that whole thing. I will just give you the answer here. I'm reading it out for you. The Central Museum last night was broke into by someone. The alarm system had been broken by the thief before they climbed through a window. Some priceless works of art was stolen by them. A red convertible was used by them to escape. Some suspects have been rounded up and questioned by the police. The thieves haven't been caught by them. Now, exercise C, second one. An entire city was destroyed by a volcanic eruption yesterday morning at 9:50 a.m. Mount Phillips erupted, which was thought to be dormant by experts. 3 days before, the smoke rising from the mouth of the volcano was seen by the tourists. For the safety of its inhabitants, the city was evacuated by the police. From the volcano had emerged tons of lava and rock, and trees, houses, and roads were wrecked. Only a few were injured by the blast. Many are being treated for shock in the hospitals in the nearby towns. The area around the mountain is being kept clear by the authorities in case there are any more eruptions. So now this two exercises. I would like you all to do them. I mean, exercise C, I would like that each one of you do this in your fair copies just for your practice. And while you'll be practicing, you should write first the active voice which is given here, and then you come on to the passive and finish it off.